Hello and welcome to another episode of This Week in Construction at Construction Sport HQ with me, Steve Kerslake. We have been on the road. The week before last, we headed up onto what was our kind of test run of our first ever construction sport rally. We headed off from our neck of the woods down in Essex to Leeds, Newcastle, Edinburgh, Inverness, John O'Groats, down to a place called Fiernan, then on to Liverpool, on to Birmingham, and then home. Over 3 days, we covered over 1,500 miles, thanks to a few people that were involved, organisations such as UK Construction Week for help let us get amongst it and doing what we've done to help promote their exhibition. Also, a big thank you to On The Tools for getting behind us and really pushing that, as well as Volkswagen Chelmsford gave us a van to use for the whole event as well. So a massive thank you to Group 1 Volkswagen over in Chelmsford. Thank you to those wonderful, wonderful people. On the actual journey, the rally, we had a few people reach out. It was really, really interesting. We had a couple of families come forward to let us know about certain situations that they've faced in recent months and also recent years with regards to mental health and well-being and suicide within the construction sector. So we will be pushing on with that. It's a lot more going on. This week at UK Construction Week, we spoke with the head of health and safety. We spoke with a number of heads of different organisations in construction, of which I did put my opinions across and felt some opinions back. Well, it was good, all healthy. UK Construction Week, thank you very much for a great week as well. We've been there for the last 3 days. It was busy. The first day, I think it was fair to say it started a little bit slow, but the trains were up the wall as usual, day after a bank holiday. But then, by the afternoon of day one, day two, it was pretty lively, actually. It was good. We caught up with a lot of people that we know. So I think we kind of got the best of it because we're kind of in amongst the industry quite a lot now. So we know a few faces. So when we go to these events, we can have just a bloody good catch up, shall we say. But next week, we are embarking on a marathon of London. Once again, we have a team of keen athletes ready to pace the streets and walk one marathon over the day with us from Liverpool Street all the way across London to Richmond Park, back down the river to the Tower of London. We have a few special guests joining us on said route, so that should be good. We have, again, I will keep on screaming it, there's 26 tractors driving from London, Claddering in Hendon, all the way to Donegal. If you're on the road in the next few weeks, you potentially will see a couple of tractors, if not 26 of them, trawling their way from London to Donegal at a high speed of 16 miles per hour. So apologies if you get stuck behind, you'll be there for a while. A couple of things we found on the rally, what I found very interesting. Scotland, very interesting. We kind of come across, you can hear there was a lot from the people we spoke that alcohol plays a big part in the culture in Scotland. It does down in England as well. I get that, but yeah, just hear a little bit more that there's a real push on that, the kind of side of what they struggle with in terms of alcohol. But on it as well, we spoke to a good guy called Jimmy Hendry, who was plumber of the year on the tools a few years back, and he now runs a few courses at the college up that way. Snippeth as well, looked into it about what they do, but I was really intrigued with just how the colleges are run. So down here in London, we will have 25, 30 people in a class, whatever the class is. For them people on the apprenticeship course, sitting in the classrooms, a lot of them don't have employers or don't have jobs to go to. They're there because they've got to be there because that's the way England's education system works. They have to go into continued learning. So a lot of them aren't particularly interested in being there. So they end up just being there for the sake of being there until they hit the right age that they can go on. But some of them obviously do, and some of them are cracking on and are driven and focused on becoming a certain trade. So that was interesting. But I didn't quite agree with it, to be honest, and that's why I've not really took myself back to the colleges. The way that people are in there who don't want to be in there, have no intention of getting the course, but their bums on that seat probably earns money for the college, so the college just wants to have people in there no matter what. So it didn't seem great. I don't think it was very fair on the teachers, to be honest, or whatever you call them in colleges. Lecturers, is that lecturers? Who knows? But in Scotland, 100% in the area that we were talking about, of people who are on an apprenticeship are employed by a company. So none of them are wasting their own time. None of them are sitting there to do it for the sake of doing it. They're doing it because they're going to get a qualification if they push through and learn. So England has a lot to learn. I suppose probably England and Wales, is it? I don't know the education system, if it works, what countries work together, what don't. But Scotland and Northern Ireland, and part of this Snippeth, Plumbing and Heating Association. They run it, but they don't use CITB up there as well, what I found was quite interesting. I spoke to a few people at CITB this weekend as well, so this week at UK Construction Week, but they've kind of ditched the CITB model and gone about themselves. I don't know what the pros and cons are really in depth of that, but to me, from the outside looking in, they don't use CITB, and they've got 100% attendance of fully employed apprentices, so they must be doing something right. Go on the Scots. Contractors face mental health quiz to win work. Industry accreditation specialist Veriforce Chaz is pushing for mental health assessments of contractors to become part of the pre-qualification process. So Chaz are pretty much saying you've got to show that you are addressing mental health in construction within your workforce and doing stuff about it based on an X amount of wellbeing questions. Be interested to know what those questions are. I've got much of an opinion on that. It's good. They're obviously saying to companies, you've got to be up to stand. You've got to be showing that you are doing something with regards to the mental health of your workforce. So that can only be a plus as long as it doesn't just get deemed as a tick box exercise. That should be positive, especially for us guys. So when people want to go, what we do with mental health and construction, they can come to us and say, can we get involved? Kent Police, south of the river, have seized huge haul of stolen site tools. More than 1,000 site tools that had been stolen, according to Construction Inquirer. Officers from Kent Police's Rural Task Force made 7 arrests after seizing the stolen items in Cranbrook. 5 local men aged between 18 and 44 were arrested. They've since been bailed pending further investigation, as well as a 19-year-old woman and a 17-year-old boy on suspicion of multiple offences relating to theft. Thieving bastards. The haul was discovered following search for power drill fitted with tracking devices after the owner got fed up with being repeatedly targeted by tool thieves. Here you go. So the person who's actually discovered it wasn't the policeman. Police are now trying to reunite the tools with more than £500,000 worth with their owners. Police Sergeant Rural Task Force said, we hope to reunite as many of the items as we can to the rightful owners as possible. Let's see if that works. Again, it came up in conversation today at UK Construction Week over a few panels and a few different things. Costain. I used to work there, I've said before. The labour deal, someone brought it up this week, and I thought, it wasn't just me. Costain has signed a site labour deal with Quartet of firms. So if you are part of Costain and you're working anywhere in the UK, part of their new Quartet is that you can only use Danny Sullivan Group, VGC, Hercules or Carmichael's as part of their new integrated labour team. Yep, that looks great. You can see it. They've got a working system there of a company they really know and trust. However, does it really work well in terms of, look at, say, just for instance, the A12 in UK, is just off the top of my head, down in Essex. If Costain are coming into our area to do a job, shouldn't Costain be supporting local businesses to help them deliver that job? Shouldn't they go to local suppliers to help them with that job, using local labour to carry out that job? In my head, this kind of just means Costain come in to the area, take over a big job, and then say you have to use one of these 4 companies if you're to work on that job. So any local labour supply company or anyone based in the, say, Essex area can't be part of that because they aren't one of the 4 quartets, should we say. However, then that means only what's going to happen is the guys on the ground who works for this local recruitment company will want to be on that job. So all they're going to do is jack it in and go and work for one of their Quartet 4. So that is just going to send Mr. Local Resource Company to the cleaners, really, isn't it? So I think it's just a way that these 4 companies will come in and just take everyone's labour and then just benefit and profit from it themselves. So I am not just the person saying this. I'm bringing it up again because I know all these guys, but I'm just voicing the opinions of many people speaking this week across the UK Construction Week and also across a few platforms that we are on. That is it right that Costain only have 4 companies to use for labour when they should be being considerate contractors? That's what they should be. But who knows? Don't shoot the messenger. Nothing too major more today. We've got lots going on. The sun is shining. Shorts are on. T-shirts are on. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a good week. Look after yourself. Take care. Thank you for all your support and helping push us and plug us to the very heights of UK construction.